Hello everyone, this is the very first demonstration for drafting problem. This is not going to be part of your assignment, but I want to show you like a big picture, how to start making the part. Once the part is made, how to import it into or project it into your drawing. And also I'm going to show you how to use the template I already made it for you so that you don't have to make it your own and spend a lot of time for making the setup, the format of your papers again. So let's just start with the CATIA. So once you launch the CATIA, the very first thing you have to do is obviously to making the part which you need to be projected into your drawing. So once you to make the part, make sure you get the book and then see the drafting problem. So it should be available at the very end of the book. There are 38, I believe, 38 the drafting problems there in the book. So based on the given the information, you have to figure out all geometry size and material informations and the name of a part, all information in each pages. So do your best to all get to your information. So as example here is the very first one, the drafting one. And as you can see, it is going to be the metric unit. So make sure when you make a part, you are using the metric as a unit. The name of a part is given here, face block. So it has to be somehow, somewhere, it has to show on the the drawing, obviously, and also the type of material. The mild steel will be the material used in this part, but again, this information has to be show up in your drawing as well too. So based on this given drawing, I am going to make the part first fairly quickly, 100 by 50 by 24, then making hole and making pattern, and so on and so on. So as soon as the part to be made it, then I'm going to show you how to project it into your drawing. So it's gonna be kind of a fast forward for the making part. I believe everyone knows how to make a part in the CATIA. It's a fairly simple one anyway. Alright, I just finished making the part. So as you can see, it was fairly easy, just making the pad and making a hole. Then after that, using the pattern, rectangular pattern, I made a pattern out of it. So now we are ready to make a drawing out of it. I already made the template for you. So if you go to the Blackboard, then as you can see, go to assignment, drafting template. Then there is a drawing file is waiting for you. So that this is basically not real template. I just made drawing files for you, which has a C size, a B size, and C size drawing already in it, but there's no projection whatsoever. So you can just open it, then you can change the file name as a save as, say it is a drafting 1, is drafting 2, and so on, so that you always have this original drawing will be available in the Blackboard, so that you can use it over and over later. So all you gotta do is open this template file. Once you open the template file, it will be hang on, look like this. Okay, as you can see, there is a B size paper, C size paper already provided. Again, in the first lecture or demonstration, I will show you how to go to the background mode and change the all necessary information. But in this point, what you have to know is you have to figure it out whether you need a B size paper or C size paper, depending on the size of part you're trying to project it in this drawing. So for the drafting one, definitely it's a fairly small part. It's less than like a 3 or 4 inches. So all I need is around this much of a space. So I am not going to use a C size. So I'm going to just delete the C size paper so that I don't duplicate it. So I'm going to delete the template C. So I have only B. So that's all we need. So if you look at the window, again, I made a drafting 1 part already, as you can see it. Or right now I opened the template. So this is, I don't want to override it as the original template I provided. So I have to save this file as a different name, which is obviously making name as a dp-01 is making sense, right? So once you save it, so now as you can see it under the window, you have a file is going on. So if I make it as a vertically arranged it, so there is a part file, you already made it. There is a drawing file is already going on. So all you gotta do is projecting this part into the drawing. So to do so, in the drafting, just go to Insert, View, Projection, From View. Then it seems like nothing is happening because it's waiting for you to pick up the face of the part you already have to be used as a very first projection. So you have to jump into the part. Then it's waiting for you to pick up the face you wanted. So you can pick up, here we go, as you can see it. It's going to show you depending on where your mouse is hovering around, right? Obviously this is going to be my face to be used as a front view. Then click. Then automatically you are going to switch back to the drawing. Then your mouse pointer will actually have your drawing showing up. So click. Then you're going to have a very first projection is done. Right now I turn off the layout, but probably when you started it, probably this layout is already on. That means it's showing the frame of each projection. So if you have more projection, whenever you activated that frame, it's going to be highlighted as a red color. So now, based on this front view, I am going to have a right side view. To do so, make sure this is activated, right? Red color. Then go to Insert, View, Projection. Then I am going to have a projection. Then, based on this activated view, as you can see, as you move a mouse at the top, or bottom, or left, or right, you're gonna have additional projection based on that activated view. So now I'm gonna have right side view. There we go. So now you got the front view, right side view. Many cases you don't need the even title, so I'm gonna just delete it. Yeah, I'm gonna delete this one too. So now you can see there are two views now. The first frame activated, second frame is not activated. Also, it's showing you this blue arrow showing you the where is the part origin is. So depending on whether you activated the right side views by simply double clicking, it shows that where is part origin. Okay, so this blue arrow is not gonna show up as you print it out. Like since we're not gonna really put it out into paper, if you put it out as a PDF file, it's not going to show this even frame, even this one. But when you turn it in, I don't want to see this frame, so make sure once everything is set, make it a full view, right? Then deactivate your frame so that I don't necessarily see this frame as additional drawings, as part of a drawing. I know it's not part of it, but you are going to make sure turn it off. So now, since I need to work with it, I'm gonna activate it. Then the rest of the process is based on, again, the drawing you have it. We have to have some additional symbol need to be put in. As an example, some hidden line need to be show up, and some center line need to be show up. Then I can start putting the dimensions. So all those your annotation work will be located here. Some dimensions right here, as you can see, all necessary dimensions here. The feature one, distance one, everything is here, and also some breakout of your dimension line. We're gonna talk about it later, and the datums and feature control frame features here, and there's a text box with a text with arrow, and some the datum target symbols, balloons. All additional information will be available. Another one you need to know is center point of a hole or curve, and there are with a reference, and so on. So the axis, there are a lot of additional one. Again, as we moving through it, that's what we're gonna learn in this semester. All right, so just a little bit more. Again, I promise I'm gonna show you more examples. Just I want to show you overall what's gonna be process will be once you made a part. Then open the template, save that as accordingly based on your assignment. Then you have a two file, part file and drawing file. These two files, both of them need to be turned in when you turn in as assignment. Again, make sure you turn in part and drawing, and also I'm gonna ask you to make it as a actual paper. But since we're not gonna have a paper, we're gonna make it as a PDF file. So again, I am going to demonstrate how to do it in the first lecture as well. Again, I am going to have center line. Click. Again, if you double click it, you can activate it until you press the escape key. I can have a second one, third one, fourth one. So it's easy, right? It's very easy. Then I need to show the whole projected it. As you can see, it hidden line is showing up. So the way you turn it on is, again, I press the escape key to exit it out the center line. Then right click over the frame. Okay, right click over the frame. Then go to the properties. Then there will be plenty of option you can turn it on. In this point, what I want is a hidden line show up. So, right, I want to turn on the hidden line. Also, I want to turn on center line as well too. So if you okay right away, that additional feature I just added, the hidden line and the center line will show up as well too. In this case, we don't have a center or curves, that's why there's no center line showing up, but I need to put the axis. So I am going to activate this frame. There we go. Then I'm going to add some features in this frame. So I am going to add, instead of center line, I'm going to add the axis. Then as you click the whole feature, it automatically figured it out, added an axis line for you. Same thing with this guy. Nope, I'm sorry, axis based on this axis. There we go. Now I got it. So then finally I can activate this one again, start putting the dimensions I wanted. So as an example, I want the distance between these edges to these edges. Then you can see it, the dimension will show up. Same way, also you can have between the axis, there we go, to axis, center point of a hole to the center point of a hole. So if you click those two, again the distance will show up. Probably you notice that the dimension right now, as a default, the CATIA is showing as a feet, so obviously you don't want. So you can click that dimension you want to change the dimension system. All the units will be right here. Later we will learn how to add a different kind of a tolerance later on, though for right now what you need to know is how to change the dimension. Right now you can see it is a feet and inches, so you're going to change that into numerical in dimensions in millimeter. So that's the very first one. Later, if you have inch system to going on English unit, the numerical value dimensions in inch system. This is one you're gonna use it. Later, there was some special cases you need a different format, which is ANSI standard may necessary as well too. Again, when it comes, I'm gonna demonstrate again too. So in this case, we need a millimeter. Same thing. This one, I need a millimeter as well too. Okay, something like that. Not bad. So later, this is not the case though. If you look at your drawings, we will need, let's go to drifting problem, the first one. We will need some dimension turning into the basic dimension, just like this. Again, there are a lot of functions I need to share with you throughout this semester. Just quick, it's very easy to do so. If you already have dimensions, all you gotta do is change the way of display from the non to rectangle. That way you can make it as your dimension as a basic dimension as well too. So I already made a couple more videos for you based on the drafting number 2, drafting number 4, and so on and so on. I strongly recommend you to look at as an example for this more dimensioning, tolerancing, and changing as basic dimensions, adding the datum, and so on and so on. But in this example, I just quickly want to show you how to start your work. So now, again, only thing I'm missing is isometric view. This will be the very last requirement. Make sure once you have a proper projection is done, I want to have always, let me say it one more time, I want always isometric view showing up in your drawing, so that it can help other people can overall understand your shape of a part much easier way. So to do so, make sure go to again insert, view, projection, and there's isometric view. That's simple. So isometric view. Then it's again waiting for you to pick up the right angle, show as isometric view. So you need to go back to your part. Make sure you got the angle you want to show as an isometric view in your drawing. So in some reason, if you decide to show this as your isometric view, right now, if you click somewhere, then it's gonna be, this is going to be projected as isometric view. That's why you need to be very careful. So as you press the isometric view, it automatically make a perfect isometric projection for you. So now make sure this is the shot, this is the angles you want to show as isometric view in your isometric drawing. Then click somewhere, the automatically will go back and projecting the scene you saw it as isometric view. So I'm going to click somewhere so that I can just project it. Then I'm going to obviously need to move this to the corner. But as you can see, in many cases, this one-on-one scale is not going to be necessary. So I'm going to, let me delete this one first. I'm going to scale down the view, the frame of this isometric view. So right click over this frame. So somewhere in the right, in this case is the right color of a frame. Right click, properties. I'm going to change the scale, obviously, half a scale, and say OK. Then you can see the half a scale of isometric view at the corner as well. Again, this is fine, but many cases providing some shading is a really good way to help people to understand your part. So again, going back to the properties of your frame, and as a matter of fact, if you scroll down at the very bottom, there is the type of the mode, the view mode you have right now. So right now is wireframe, the exact view. So change that one as a raster view. That means it's making as a drawing. It's like a painting. And go to the option. You can change that option from hidden line wireframe to the shading with the edges. So that's what I'm gonna recommend you. Shading with the edge. Then you can even increase the quality as a very high quality one. And close and OK. Then you can see instantly the isometric view you had will be the raster view. So having the different shading depending on the angle of a light and your part, it can be much easier for people to understand your part. Alright, so hopefully it is helping you to understand how to start. So once you have a part is done, then how to making the projection done in the drawing. As you noticed it, you have to really plan well. Try to make when you make a part, okay, make a decision of a right sketch view so that as you press the isometric view is making the exactly right isometric view you wanted to show in the drawing. I've seen some students just randomly pick out without knowing how it's going to be orientated later on. That can be really troublesome later on. So make sure before you making the first sketch for your first feature, you plan it out. Don't randomly making the sketch, and you're gonna regret what you did, and definitely it can cause some problem later on as well too. All right, hopefully it's giving you a good idea how to start your very first drawing. So try it out by yourself, and then when you come back in the first demonstration, we'll start with a little bit more difficult one, a more complicated one, more additional feature need to put into the drawing. All right, so I will see you in the class.